What if the concept of good and bad foods were removed from your brain? What if you didn't think in terms of this is good for me, this is bad for me, and you just ate food because it was what you want? What would that feel like? If you're new to the concept of food freedom, then maybe you haven't heard about labeling foods. By the end of this video, I'm gonna have you thinking a little differently about how you think of foods in general and how you label foods. And I don't mean whether there's sugar in them or fat or protein or all that stuff or carbs. I'm not talking about greenwashing or toxic things in foods. I'm talking just about health in general. I know, hold on. You're gonna say that some of the things in foods aren't healthy to begin with. So how can we disassociate health with food? And I'm gonna say to some degree, you're right. There's things in some foods that wouldn't be good for us in large quantities. You wouldn't do well on eating pounds of celery every day, just like you wouldn't do well eating buckets of chocolate. But I'm not really talking about that right here. What I'm talking about is how we label food, like our perception of a food. My name's Tanya. Please subscribe if you'd like to talk about nutrition that makes sense in menopause, no dieting required. Anyway, come into my kitchen and let's talk a little bit about the perception of food in general. Because one woman's perfection seems to be another woman's poison when it comes to food. And then there's some people who just want to afford groceries. Food is so polarizing in the wellness world, isn't it? Have you ever stopped to think about how you think of food in terms of food labels? Like, look at this simple yogurt. So this little pumpkin spice yogurt could be considered something that might be bad for you because it contains dairy. There is sugar in it. And this, to some wellness professionals, would be an off-limit food. In there, I did say wellness professionals that make things like off-limit foods, but it isn't just wellness professionals. We do it. We do that as part of day-to-day life, right? This type of food might be an off-limit food for you. Now, I don't want you to go feel like you got to go eat yogurt if you don't like it or you can't eat dairy or any of that. Okay, let's get back into this and put this in a different perspective. Someone else might find a yogurt like this too expensive. It's not affordable, or they might see the packaging as unsustainable, goes in the landfill. There's so many ways to look at food. Have you ever thought about the way you look at yours? But to someone else, this yogurt might mean the difference between going hungry all afternoon or having a little something to stave off total hunger until they could get to dinner. They might find it delicious. How do we make this all make sense when it comes to food, and what can you take away from here? When you are out to eat, when you're preparing things at home, when you have a craving for a snack, maybe stop and give pause and think, what am I actually thinking about this food? You will start to notice that you have food placed in categories of good or bad, high fat, low fat, what it's gonna do to you, rather than how much you might just enjoy it. And I think pulling back and taking this perspective that one food, like this pumpkin spice yogurt or anything else, does not make you unhealthy. They're all snapshots in life. The unfortunate thing for us in menopause is that we've had a lot of these snapshots of messages embedded into our brains about what is good and what is bad. Taking this perspective on food and starting to tune into your body to see how you feel with certain things that you eat, not just in your body physically, but also in your brain. What are you thinking? How are you positioning this in the scheme of things as far as your health? Wesley's back. Do you want to see him? I had to put the blanket on the couch because he wants to jump up. Part of being more conscious with food is just starting to notice, what are these thoughts and feelings that you have that come up when it comes to a yogurt, a chocolate bar, a dish of spaghetti, margarita pizza, a martini, a salad, a Greek salad, a green salad. You know what I mean. Let me know in the comments where you are on your food relationship journey, and let me know if you want to continue this discussion on the Food Freedom 101 train. Because once you get on this train, you're going to think of food differently. Bye for now.